Hello, if you're coming to Canada as an international student, you agree with me that with so many changes that has taken place from January up till now in Canada, you really need to do your research as to what course you want to study. And of course, you don't want to study a course where you come to Canada and you'll be obliged to go back home or forced to go back home even if you desire to stay. So if you are someone who wants to stay in Canada after your studies and you desire a career in CCA or PSW or healthcare assistant, this video is for you. Okay, I will advise you to sit down, stay tuned, and let's go through this together, and so that you'll be informed. If that is you, come on, let's go. So, what is CCA? What does the word or the acronym CCA mean? So, CCA means continuous care assistant. And continuous care assistants are those people who assist the nurses to carry out personal care on patients, clients, or service users as the case may be, depending on the facility. So CCA can mean different names or different things in different provinces. They can be called different things. So what is CCA? CCA simply means continuous care assistant. And who are they? What do they do? So their job role is actually, like the word implies, assistant. They assist the nurses to carry out personal care or daily care of activities on patients, on clients, service users, depending on the facilities or the companies or the name they chose to call their patients. And it would be nice to know that they are caregivers. That's the literal meaning of a CCA. They give care to patients. And this name, CCA, can be used differently depending on the region or the province that you are from. For example, in Ontario, the CCAs, they are known as personal support workers. Whereas in Western Canada, for example, in Saskatchewan, they are known as continuous care assistants. That is CCA. In Alberta, they are known as health care giver. So different provinces, different names, but the same job role. The same job role. And what are their job roles? What do? They take care of patients, clients, or service users activity of daily activities, activities of daily living. Sorry, activity ADL as it's called, activity of daily living. So they support people who are vulnerable. They help them to make sure that they are able to live their lives daily in a very comfortable way. And so that brings us to the information that this job cannot be for everybody. Being a CCA is not as easy as many people think it is. But is it doable? Yes, it is doable. And what do I need to get into this job? The first thing you need to have is ability to answer the question, is this course for me? I desire a career. I desire to work in healthcare. Do I have the patience? Because you need to possess that attribute. Being very patient, you have to be compassionate, you have to be able to tolerate that tolerance, You have to be someone who have the passion to care for people, the passion to meet people's needs. So if you have this attribute, that's the first thing. I understand that, you know, you can do the course very easily and you can get permanent resident through this course if done and successful. But one thing you need, those are the most important things that you need to possess. You have to be compassionate. You have to be very patient. You have to have the ability to persevere, because you will see a lot of things, during the course of this study. So if you possess those things and you have passion to care for people, then you now come to talk about your qualifications. What do I really need to qualify or to have to be able to bring this career to a fruition in my life? It's not so much, you just need the grade 12, as it's called in Canada, if you live in Canada, or you need WAEC, like from most African countries, or you need your GCE, even NECO. Yes, they take NECO. If NECO is what you have, they also accept NECO. If you are not from Africa, whatsoever your secondary school or your college, your secondary school, your elementary school is the end of it. Whatsoever qualification you get from your elementary school is what you need to qualify to get into this course. Now, if now you have the elementary qualification, you have your grade 12, you have your WAEC or whatsoever this is called in your country of originality, what is the next thing that you need to have? This course is in class and placement. So what that means is that you have some time where you study in class. A teacher comes to the class just like every other student to teach you, lectures you, and you do some hands-on practical or practical in the classroom. And after that being said, you now be sent to any facility. You can go to long-term care, you can go to home care, you can go to community, or you can even go to hospice. It just depends on who your school is affiliated to. Right. So why you are there? What I will advise a lot of people, if you are coming from abroad, you are coming to study here as an international student, the first thing you need to know, you need to do your research properly. If you are coming to school and you want to do a CCA course, the first question you want to ask yourself is this school a designated learning institution? Designated learning institution means the schools that is recognized by the government to give work permits after studies. You need to really make sure that that is a goal. If that school is not a designated learning institution and you have the intention of staying back in Canada, you don't want to go to that school at all. You don't want to go to that school at all. So after you figured out that this school is a designated learning institution, you want to check which province do I want to go to. Like I said in one of my videos, provinces are different, and some provinces are overcrowded than others. They are more crowded than others. So as an international student, you don't want to go to a province that is overcrowded, because it's going to increase your stress. It's going to affect your ability to stabilize quickly. Your housing is not a joke in densely populated provinces. Okay, now once you have figured out the province you're going to study, you want to also try to do your WAEC. You need to do your immunization, because during placement, if you are going to any school for placement, that you are going for practical hands-on practical. You want to have close contact with these patients. Now, your institution will require, and the institution you are going to, the facilities you are going to be posted to, will require you to have immunization. So if you are coming from abroad and you don't have a record of your immunization history, you want to make sure that you do it up to date. The reason is that it's not free here in Canada. A lot of people might have this notion that a lot of things are free in Canada. Not all are free. And as an international student, I don't think you don't actually have access to healthcare. You need an insurance. So plus the time frame, you are trying to study, you are trying to go here and there for appointments, because some cities, depending on the city you live in, you don't just go in and do tests. You need to book for the test, especially if you are going to be studying in rural Canada, right? So you want to have up-to-date immunization history, so that once you come, if it's time for that placement, you just submit it. So you go to the public health area and you submit it, so they now have your updated immunization. That way you don't have to pay, or you don't even have to start worrying yourself about that. Another thing is this: because you're going to be working with vulnerable set of people, because these people you are going to be working with, some of them have dementia, some of them they might be unconscious, some of them you might go into their homes and they are just there by themselves. So they need to be sure that you are crime free. So you also need a police report. And as international student, they will require a police report from your country of originality. And so because of that, before you come in as a student, once you are sure that you're actually coming in, you've been offered a place to study, and you've applied for your visa is out and you are coming, please do yourself well to apply for a police report and come with that police report, so that once they ask you for a police report, you'll be able to submit it. Because once you get here, trying to do a police report from here to any country you are from might be very demanding and stressful. Remember, you just moved to another country. The stress of relocation is enough in itself than adding another stress of trying to get documents together. So you will need that. You will need that. So during before practical, your school will train you. You'll be trained for different skills, how to be able to do a lot of skills once you get to the community, or once you get to your placement. For example, you'll be doing TLR. TLR means transfer, lifting, and repositioning. What that just means is that it teaches you safe lifting and transfer of patient without you hurting yourself or hurting the patient. It's transfer, lifting, and repositioning. Just as it implies, your ability to safe transferring of patient, safe lifting of patient, and repositioning of patient, so that you will not hurt yourself during the process of transferring or hurt the patient, because if the patient is hurt, you will be held responsible. Or if you are hurt, you might not be able to continue with your course, and then you will not be, stranded, because you're a student, right? You don't want to put yourself in that position. So you will do that. Another thing is, if you can do CPR from your country of originality, fine, but I will advise you to do it here, because some countries CPR might not be accepted here. So you'll be better off to do a CPR here. You do a CPR course here, and then that will help you to transit very quickly. Another thing is what they call PAT. PAT just means professional response and assault training. Professional response assault training. This training, you are basically taught how to defend yourself without hurting your patient. how to defend yourself without hurting the patient. And somebody will say, how can I be defending myself against patient? Because some of these patients, they get score. Some of them are demented, right? So they don't really know what they are doing. Some of them can be violent. So they teach you the most on how you'll be able to defend yourself from this patient so that they will not hurt you. You will only be able to defend yourself, but you cannot retaliate. Do not say a patient hits you, then you are going to retaliate and defend the patient and hurt and then kind of punch them back. No. If patient is going to punch you, how to defend yourself to make sure that that punch does not get to you. Those are some of the things that part will teach you. There are so many of them. They have WEMIS, they have control of cleaning stuff, so many. So they will teach you all those things so that when you get to your placement, you'll be able to know all those things. So these are the prior to placement qualification. So again, these are some of the things that your school will teach you anyways, before they let you out into the community. So you don't have to worry about PAT and TRL and all those things. You don't have TLR, you don't have to worry about them. So now, why do I even need to study? Why do I have to study this course? You need to study this course because if you look at the trend at which Canada is going now, it's been so ridiculous. Like their immigration system since January up till now it has been so unpredictable. So you don't want to just come not strategizing. You have to also strategize in the sense that CCA is among the shortage lists in Canada now. So when I say shortage list, that's some of the careers that are on their shortage list in Canada. Those people that they are looking for, those job vacancies that are everywhere. CCAs, they are one of them. Whether in rural area, whether in urban, like big cities, you have CCA vacancy, So if you are coming into Canada and you have the intention to stay back in Canada, CCA is a course that you want to consider. Why? It is very short time course. It takes only 8 to 10 months to study as a CCA. And once you are done studying, your ability to get a job is very easy. Sometimes if you behave very well, you were very dedicated in your job while you were during your placement, most of those companies where you did your placement, they actually recruit you. So you are not left out looking for a job after graduation. Before you finish your job, before you finish your studies, most times you have a job waiting for you. And how does that affect your process or your transition from student to a permanent resident in Canada? It does help because after your studies, you need to obtain a work permit. So if you get an employer that already gave you a job, it's going to make it easier because you have that offer of job already. You send it with your work permit. It's very easy for you to get that work permit. And after you get your work permit, you have to work a certain hours, I think 1,600, 1,700 hours to be eligible to apply for a permanent resident. So having a job handy just before graduation makes it very smooth because then you are going straight into your job. And then that's going to give you an edge over anybody who will do a course where they will start looking for a job and, counting time and time is going, they are getting anxious. You won't be anxious because you already have the job. All you just need to do is to graduate and start counting your hours. Now, the next question is this, oh, that's good, but can I bring my family with me? Unfortunately, with the recent change, before January, you could, but with the recent change, you're not able to bring your family immediately. Having said that, that does not mean that you can't bring your family at all, at all. You will only be able to bring your family after you've graduated, after you obtain your permanent residence. So I would say between you and your spouse is going to be an agreement of a time to sacrifice for your future. So the period where you be in school, from the period you obtain your permanent resident, you might not be able to see your family, or if you have what it takes financially, you can invite your family in, or you can go on holiday to see them. But if you cannot afford that, it will just be like maybe a year or two time, a year or two sacrifice from your family. And after that, once you obtain your permanent resident, then you will be able to bring in your family, because as a permanent resident, you can apply for your family to come with you. Okay, so having said that, you know, this is one cause that a lot of people have said, I don't think I can do it. I'm not able to do it. If that is you, you don't want to do it, that's okay. And that's just fine, because it is not meant for everybody. But if this is you and you think you have the passion, you are compassionate about people, helping people, then go for it. Because people are going to be sick. The aging generation is going to grow bigger. I'm not praying for people to be sick, but that's the fact about life. Hospitals are always going to be full of sick people. Homes are going to have people with disability. Like there are going to be always need for people. And another opportunity you might have is ability to get on the express entry and get selected by a community that is in need of CCA or PSW. And once you are eligible and once you are nominated by that community, you just surpass all this process. They automatically give you a work permit, and then you can bring your family. So if this has been really helpful to you, put it on the comment section. Make comments about this video. If there's anything that you don't understand, ask your question on the comment section. And you know if you need to know how to apply, I'm going to put some of the link of some schools on the description section. And if you still don't understand, please feel free to make comments, ask questions on the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. PSW is a very, very good course, and their pay is not so bad. Their pay is between $23 per hour to $28 per hour. It depends on your province. Some provinces pay more than other provinces. So the average is actually 22, 23, which even some degree holders don't have. And you are doing a diploma, you'll be earning that much. If this has helped you, please don't keep this to yourself. Share, comment. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscription button and put on your notification button, so that if there's any updates or I create any video, you'll be the first person to be notified. And continue to support me, by subscribing, by liking. Put in your comment, and if there's any video you want me to do, and um recommend it, and I'll be more than happy to do research on that video, and I will be more than happy to shoot that video to you. And if you are my recurring followers, I want to appreciate you for your support. I couldn't have continued without you. Sometimes I get so tired, I get so reluctant, but for the fact that you, my subscribers, are always there looking out for my videos, you are the force that keeps me coming. So please, I appreciate you. And please, if you haven't subscribed, support me by subscribing. I hope this has been very helpful, and ponder on these things, make your research, and if you have any question, put them there, and I'll be more than happy. Having said that, it's bye for now. See you on my next video, and thanks for watching. Goodbye. Ìjọ aláyọ̀ kò mọ̀lẹ́ òkú jó dáadáa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o. He's got it too much, too much. That's rain of miracle. It's falling on you today. Oh, let it fall. Even let it overflow. How can't you make it? It's blessing someone today. Akaya, Akaya, Akaji over